Hi, Sophie.
Hello,
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you for being
Good.
here.
Thanks for
Really
having
excited to talk about all about what you do.
me.
First of all, how do you say Astrid, and is it Miyu? Is it my I
Yeah.
keep everyone says different things, so that needs to be the first question.
Yeah, do you know what? Great question because everyone says the same to me when they come on an interview. They're like, "Is it Miyu, Miyu?" It is Astrid and Miyu, um,
Miyu.
and both of those words mean beauty. So Astrid means beauty in Swedish, and Miyu is beauty in Japanese. So yeah.
Oh, I love that. Miyu. Okay, Astrid and Miyu. I always thought it was the founder's name, but no.
No, no, yeah. Everyone always wonders where the words come from.
So, if anyone doesn't know who Astrid and Miyu are, do you want to start by saying who you guys are and what you
Yeah,
do?
absolutely. So, Astrid and Miyu are a jewelry brand. So we sell beautiful jewelry. We have around 30 stores globally. But I guess what makes us sort of different is we also offer piercings, fine line tattoos, and welded bracelets in our store as well. So we're all about like creating experiences.
Wow. I mean, I've been in there. I love it. I'm a fan. I'm
Yeah,
sure lots of people have seen it. But because you're also really big on social media and
yeah.
but why don't you tell everyone as well about a bit about you, a bit about your background and how you ended up working at Astrid and Miyu?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been at Astrid and Me for 4.5 years. I joined when we were about 70 people and we're coming up to about 500 now. So I've been through a lot of growth with them, lots of exciting change. But how I got to where I am, I actually started my first role was in a very small advertising agency back in Manchester. There's only about 15 of us. It was my first kind of role after uni. I did a communications degree and naturally thought I'll go into an advertising agency. Loved it. About a year and a half in, I just thought, I'm not getting that like waking up in the morning passion. This is where I'm meant to be. I didn't know what I wanted to do. A lot of my friends had these paths built out and they'd naturally just gone into these careers that they'd been dreaming of. And I was a bit stuck. So I handed in my notice. I took a bit of a risk and I went traveling for 2 months on my own. I was into yoga at the time and I did a yoga retreat. And it sounds very cliche, but I did kind of have a time to kind of find really where my passion was ignited. And it was people. And someone suggested, well, why don't you go into recruitment? And I thought, okay, I'll give it a go. And I found a small graduate recruitment agency in London that I joined. I was there for about 2.5 years, sort of placing graduates in different roles, different industries, loved it. And then an opportunity came up at Astrid and Miyu to kind of join a brand and actually like bring my experience to growing a brand and bringing sort of the right people in. So yeah, 4.5 years later, here I am.
I love that. I love because we've heard a lot from different people who work now in recruitment.
Yeah,
They're like, you never hear anyone be like, my dream job is to work in recruitment
never.
or like people. But
Yeah,
there are so many, people who love working with people and it's such an important skill. So I definitely think HR and people and recruitment should be something that people consider more because you can all also work across any company.
yeah.
Um, so it is such a creative brand, Astrid and
Mhm,
Me, obviously your jewelry.
mhm.
What kind of creative like roles are there kind of outside of what you do? But yeah, talk a bit about more of the creative side.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the creativity, I mean, it's everywhere in what we do. We're a very forward-thinking, innovative brand. We're not afraid to like do things to stand out and make a bit of noise because you kind of have to do that in the space that we're in at the moment. So your more sort of traditional creative roles like marketing, we've got so many different avenues that you can go into. So there's social media, there's brand marketing, there's copywriting, there's our creative content, so like doing all our shoots and our photography. And then there's our sort of like product and design side, which is so interesting. I love having meetings with some of the product and design team because they come up with like all of the designs of our jewelry. And they go to trade shows, they visit places, they go to museums, they kind of like really take in like what's around them and like what they're experiencing in the world, along with sort of trends that are coming up, and kind of like build our whole like collection of jewelry pieces. So there's lots of different avenues. I think also look in the places that you might not think creativity traditionally is. Like customer care and customer service. A lot of people look at that and think, oh, you're just speaking to angry customers all day. And it's actually so much more than that. You build platforms, you create relationships, you make sales from customers that you speak with. The people team as well. There's so many different ways to kind of show creativity. So my biggest advice is always like, don't look in the traditional sort of creativity side of things alone, like really expand that and get curious and kind of look at different avenues.
Yeah, no, because also those roles are probably more competitive than the ones that people
Yeah,
don't know
exactly.
about. And it sounds like as well, once you're in, Astrid and Mia, it's, everyone kind of speaks with everyone, and there's probably room to move different
Yeah.
departments, I'm assuming. So it is kind of get your foot in the door if you like a company, if you like a brand, if you're really interested in what they do. Because even though you work in recruitment,
Mhm.
I'm sure it's a very creative environment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we host like hiring events, we create videos, like my team all do that, like create fun videos on Canva and different ways to kind of like, attract people to Ashford and me and the roles that we have. There's so much creativity that goes in roles that you wouldn't traditionally think. And I think the big thing is actually like finding a brand that allows you to bring that creativity in all of those different areas and really like pulls that out of you in the best way.
No, definitely. And what entry level roles are there? Like what are the kind of starting roles at Astrid and Miyu?
Yeah, so we've kind of got three different avenues. So I'd say the first one is our like entry level full-time positions, and we have a lot of those because we're a fast growing business. A lot of our senior leaders now are actually people that joined us as like associates and entry level, and it's so nice seeing people's journeys and people sort of growing with us. So naturally, as they step up, we then have a lot of entry level opportunities for people across so many different roles in the business. So that's one thing. And then we also partner with a study abroad and apprenticeship university program in the US. So we have different students that come over, normally January and in the summer. And we've had some incredible talent come over. Some that we really wish could stay, but then a lot of them have to sort of go back. So yeah, we've got that sort of program at the moment, but we're really looking at tapping into sort of more internship programs across the UK as well. And then we're launching next year, which I'm not allowed to reveal too much on yet. I was begging to see if I can on this call, but we're launching an academy next year for some of our roles where people will be able to kind of like train and learn different skills to kind of like grow with us. So yeah, lots of opportunities.
Amazing. And obviously you are head of recruitment, so you're going to be looking at CVs, you're going to be interviewing people.
Yeah.
What kind of experience or what are you looking for, or how can people stand out in some of those applications? Do they
Yeah.
need to have experience in jewelry or not? Or yeah, what would you say you're looking for?
Yeah, 100% not. I mean, it's one of those, if we look at someone with jewelry experience, naturally you'll think, oh, that's great. But I think also we want people with different experience. You don't just want to hire people with jewelry experience. So for entry level roles, our number one thing that we say is like, let you shine through. So really add your stamp to the application process. Don't just list experiences, but actually like tell us a little bit about who you are and what your passions are and outside of work, because we want to get to know like you authentically, not just you in a workspace and you personally as separate. Like for us, we see that as one. We have in our applications a lot of opportunity for people to leave their mark in sort of like a fun way. So we have this little toggle where you can pick an emoji that represents you best. You can put a Spotify song that summarizes how you're feeling today. You can record a video if you want, because it's all about us like being able to offer an inclusive way for people to apply, because not everyone wants to submit a CV and a cover letter and that's it. So yeah, it's always around like letting your sort of personality shine in the best way.
Amazing. Well, we've just got a question actually from the
Okay.
audience. So, really curious about how jewelry is made. Like, what is the from the design stage all the way through to making it, marketing, and selling?
Yeah.
Um, are there any chances to see or get involved in that full process?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from not being a designer myself, I'm probably not going to be able to go into too much detail in terms of the actual setup of it. But what we can do actually, May, is after I could maybe share some imagery. If we've got some step by step of like how it literally gets put from like the design all the way through to the
Oh
molds
yeah,
up until
yeah.
the final product. But essentially, the team come together, they create mood boards, they will pull together all of these designs, trends, and then they will start sketching. And the sketches are incredible, like seeing all of those like, ideas come to life. They then get shared with sort of like the wider business. We look at the different metals, the designs, where we're sourcing it from. And then they start creating like mock ups using molds. And the molds will then get sent to the office and all of the team will have a look at them. And then once everyone's happy, it then starts the process of like actually getting them made and into the different metals. And then we have like trial and tests and make sure that things aren't, breaking and everything's as it should be. A lot of quality control. And then it kind of, yeah, gets translated into the product on the shop floor and all of the marketing. But we're trying in our marketing team as well. We're all about storytelling. So we talk to a lot of our designers about like how they come up with the designs and showcase that on LinkedIn or Instagram or TikTok, because people want to see that. They want to see like the behind the scenes and how you've got to where you are with the product.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's really interesting. And I think that's it. People just see the finished product and that's
Yeah,
it. But there's so much
so much.
that goes into it. And what about and so because you're how many people work at Astrid and Miyu now?
So I think we're about 480. So we're coming up to hopefully 500 by the end of the year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of.
Um, and I think like that's also interesting for people thinking about what kind of companies they want to work for because there are lots of different sizes of companies
Mhm.
and lots of companies at different stages.
Yeah,
And I think what it sounds like with Astrid and Miyu is that you were quite a small brand, but you've grown so quickly because you're
yeah,
so popular and people obviously love you. And so you're kind of growing and scaling and actually that's quite an interesting company to work with as opposed to maybe a really established jewelry brand.
yeah,
I'm just saying one off the top of my head, like Tiffany's. I don't know, that's the only one I can think of.
yeah,
Pandora.
yeah,
But like it must be really different to work in those companies. So
yeah.
I don't know whether because you joined when it was really kind of
Mhm.
growing. So would you recommend that people, I guess, what's the difference between working in like a smaller growth
Yeah.
company versus like a big established company?
Yeah, great question. I think it's being able to grow quite quickly within yourself and also like mold the role to how you want as well. I think a lot of these bigger businesses, they're amazing for opportunities and there's a lot of structure in place and your role is kind of, it is what it is. Whereas I think when you join a growing scale up where they really, really value your ideas, and that is everyone from entry level all the way through to sort of our senior leadership, is you just have a real sort of like big impact to kind of bring your ideas to the table. They're really listened to. It's very innovative, and you get a lot of opportunity to grow quite quickly. If I think of the person that I was when I joined Astrid and Miyu, I was their first recruiter. And I was quite nervous because I was thinking, this is a big role. You want me to be in charge of, building and scaling your team. And I think they really invest in you if you really resonate with the values and what they stand for. And, experience can be taught. I've been taught a lot throughout my time and learned so much from people that I've been surrounded by. But if your heart's there, you're passionate, you're surrounded by really good people that help you grow and want to get the best out of you, then there's just like no limit to where you can go.
Yeah, no, that's I think just really important to hear, because yeah, sometimes again we don't think about there are different types of companies within the
Yeah,
same industry.
yeah, absolutely.
Um, and what what advice do you have for people who have no idea what they want to do,
Mm,
um, and they're just exploring their options? Like, how do you know what role is good for you?
yeah. I think there's two things. There's the role and there's the company. So I think with the role, similar to what I did, when you don't know what it is that you want to do, just strip it back and think, what is it that kind of gets me up in the morning? What is it that if I talk about or I'm involved in it, it kind of creates that passion and excitement? Simple things like it was people. Okay, well, what role can I go into there where people's going to be a big focus. So I think really just think on like what gets you excited, because at the end of the day, work is so much more than a big salary and a big paycheck and big bonuses. It's about having that feeling of like waking up in the morning, actually being really excited about what you're doing and feeling fulfilled and surrounded by people that inspire you and support you. So I would say, yeah, think really into where your passion is, and then also pick the right brand. I think a lot of people look at roles and then will go into, one of the big corporate brands where they think that they might sort of fit there better because they know what it is, but actually go and explore brands that are a little bit smaller and you might not have heard of them before. Or, retail's a great opportunity to go into stores and like experience brands firsthand and then look at sort of opportunities either in store or in the office. So yeah, look at the brand, what sort of passion you have for that brand, whether you resonate with their values and what they stand for, and then the role, really kind of like strip that back as much as possible.
Yeah, no, that's such good advice. And like culture is really important. And I think that what you like, what I like, what someone
Yeah,
else likes, or that environment is so unique to you. So you really have to figure out, which environment you like the
yeah,
best.
absolutely.
And then finally, Sophie, what is the best part of working at Astrid and Miyu?
Oh, so many things, but I'd probably have to say the people, and because of the people have come from the values. So we are a really values led brand. And what I mean by that is we have three values that we live and breathe every day. And that's all around supporting others, bringing people into the business that naturally want the best for other people. We're not a very sort of competitive environment where we're trying to like one up on each other, where you've got huge layers of hierarchy. It's all around like we're actually all equal and we're there to support each other and we're all here for the same mission. So I would say, yeah, the people and the culture and the values are what sort of keep me here and will probably do for a long time.
Oh, amazing. Well, thank you so much, Sophie. I mean, 20 minutes is already up, which is
I
mad.
know it
It
flies
goes
by.
so quickly, I'm sure. But like you said, your opportunities are on your website. We can put that in the chat. I'm sure you're happy for people to connect with you on LinkedIn.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I've learned so much about Astrid and Miyu, especially now knowing how to say it.
Thanks.
Um, and the academy next year sounds really, really interesting as well. So
Yeah.
hopefully we can also promote that on Eric next year.
Yeah.
But I will let you go because I know it's Monday. You're busy, busy person. So we will let you go. But thank you again.
Thanks, May. Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Bye,
Bye.
Sophie.